It's time to rank the 10 best wrestlers over 40. Keep in mind the ranking is based on where these individuals are currently at in their careers in terms of star powers, ability to perform, and overall impact on the business as opposed to their overall body of work. Mickie James may have turned 40 last August, but she is still making her presence felt in the WWE Women's division. The Richmond, Virginia native became a star following her memorable feud with Trish Stratus and would go on to top have several World Championships runs in both WWE and TNA wrestling. Though she may not be the youngest performer on this roster, James' age certainly doesn't show in the ring. This past July, she suffered a severe knee injury and has been sidelined for several months. Still, everyone loves a good comeback, and James should be able to continue to add to her Hall of Fame resume for years to come. Jeff Hardy is 42 years old out of Cameron, North Carolina, who rose to performance fame during WWE's Attitude Era. At the height of his run in 2008, Hardy becomes WWE Heavyweight Champion for the first time. Though he has struggled with some personal issues throughout his career, the former WWE Champion has one of the pro wrestling top performers for over 2 decades. Like Mickie James, Hardy also recently suffered a significant injury and only recently returned to action on March 13. Fortunately, he remains under contract with WWE and can still go in the ring. That being said, there is no clear creative direction for him at the moment, which is why he isn't further down the list. Shinsuke Nakamura. Though many North American fans only discovered Shinsuke Nakamura a few years ago, Kyoto's Japan's favorite son has been a star in his home country since the years 2000s. After a hot start in NXT, the king of strong style would go on to top face AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34 for the WWE Championship. Though he moves like someone half his age, Nakamura turned 40 this past February. While he is no longer being featured in main event level matches, Nakamura has settled in nicely as a solid mid-card performer. In fact, he recently held the Intercontinental Championship for an impressive 201 days. Bobby Roode. For years, Bobby Roode was one of the TNA wrestling's top acts who was widely regarded as one of the best wrestlers outside of WWE. However, in 2016, all that changed when he became a member of the NXT roster, equipped with one of the catchiest theme songs in recent memory. The glorious one would go on to become the NXT champion. Since being called up to the main roster in 2017, the 42 years old has captured several titles including the United States and Tag Team Championships. Roode is a prime example of a performer who appears to have peaked later in their career. Matt Hardy. Throughout the early portion of their respective careers, when it came to the Hardy Boys, it was Jeff who showed the most promise as a single star. Of course, in recent years, his older brother Matt has really come into his own. Thanks to his broken Matt Hardy character, the elder Hardy Boy is one garnering the lion's share of the headlines these days. Now 45, Matt Hardy recently signed with All Elite Wrestling and is first becoming one of the hottest acts in the business. He is already considered one of the all-time great tag team performers and looks poised to add a few more singles titles to his mantle. The Undertaker. If our ranking was based on the overall body of work over the course of a wrestler's entire career, The Undertaker would likely be holding down the #1 spot. That being said, the 55 years old legend has understandably slowed down a bit in recent years. His 2019 encounter at Super Showdown with Bill Goldberg shows that Undertakers can no longer carry a match. That being said, the Dead Man is still one of the biggest names in the sport and can always be counted on to draw plenty of fan interest. Though he is roughly 5 years shy of turning 60, The Undertaker still knows his way around the squared circle. John Cena. Like the Undertaker, John Cena would likely be contending for the top spot on our list if we were focused on careers in their entirety. After all, Cena is arguably the only mainstream star WWE has created since the Attitude Era. The 16-time world champ has been the promotion's top dog for the better part of 2 decades. Even at 42, Cena can still get it done inside the ring. That being said, his focus seems to have shifted to acting and he is no longer a full-time performer. Still, Cena is a name that still draws plenty of money and probably always will. Brock Lesnar is a freak athlete who makes being a professional wrestler look easy. The reigning WWE champion also has a kind of naturally intimidating presence that simply can't be taught. As a former UFC champ, he is a legitimate tough guy who has gone on to become a star that transcends the world of sports entertainment. Lesnar may be 42, but he is still dominated the main event scene in WWE over the course for the last several years. Even as a part-time performer, the Beast remains one of the most valuable wrestlers on the promotion's rosters, and that probably won't change anytime soon. AJ Styles. For the longest time, WWE fans were salivating at the prospect of having AJ Styles signed with the most recognized brand in the business. Finally, in 2016, the dream becomes a reality. Moreover, the phenomenal one hasn't disappointed since arriving on the scene. When one watches AJ Styles' performance in the ring, it's extremely hard to believe he will turn 43 coming June. Age aside, the former WWE champion is perhaps the most consistent in-ring performer on WWE roster at the moment. At press time, he is said to take the Undertaker at WrestleMania 36 in one of the most anticipated matches on the card. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho became a major star during the Attitude Era and also happened to be a former WWE champion several times over. Despite all of this success, Jericho never really got a chance to be the top guy for a company. There was always Steve Austin, The Rock, or even John Cena in their way. Finally, after all these years, Jericho gets to be the focal point of a promotion as AEW champion, though he will turn 50 this year. The champion is doing some of the best work of his career and has played a major role in AEW's early success.